always been into sports, always loved sports. And just being exposed to all this was amazing, and it was not something which I had to think twice, do I join the family business, because I really love sports so much. It was really a natural progression for me, and it's passion. Let's just put it away. If there's one thing which sets us apart, it's passion for sports in Singapore. I think that's very difficult to replicate. As long as we have that, I think we would still have a place here.
I'm Mandeep Chopra, I'm the founder of Limited Edt, and this is my SME story.
I started working in 2000 as soon as I graduated. Then was just in a general sporting goods store.
It was one of the stores in Queensway Shopping Centre started up by my dad.
My grandfather is no longer around. When I think about him, I definitely learned a lot.
He was a very warm person, so it was more life values which I learned from him, just being kind and generous. And with my dad,
that's a different thing, right? I've learned so much from him.
I got more business insight and he showed me the ropes.
And what we started doing was bringing in retro models like Adidas Stan Smith, Superstar, Country, Nike, Dunks, Air Forces, Cortezes. I won't say they were limited, but we bring in like special colorways or different colorways. Slowly, we built a bit of a following. People always followed sneakers or liked sneakers, right? Whether it was Jordans and all that, but I just felt something was happening when we were bringing all this in. It kind of a lot of people started flowing to Queensway Shopping Centre, which was more traditionally known for sports. I think the trigger was the year of the horse Nike Air Force One. For the first time, I saw even a small line waiting out the store when that was going to be released. Then I knew we were on to something. Just really soon, I think that was 2002, and by 2003, we opened Limited Edition. Back then, it was very niche. So it's kind of, how do I build a following? How do I kind of build a community? Obviously, it's moved on now and it's all about social media. But it was, how do we get the word out? That's always been a challenge. But the number one challenge probably has been, just because Singapore being such a small country, was always getting access to product. And even till today, it's always the number one fight. Call me patriotic, but I always want the best for our country. I think for the first 5-6 years of my working life, I definitely was every single day on the shop floor, whether it was the weekends, 7 days a week. I think it's one of those things where, you get your hands dirty. And even today, I have no qualms about helping out the store. It's interacting with customers and seeing what they want, seeing things you can improve on. To me, being on the floor is ground zero, and anybody who's part of the business, whether they join me or, join as a marketing person, as a social media person, I always tell them, hey, to be on the ground is where you're really going to learn. Obviously, opening the first store on Queensway was groundbreaking. It was the first specialty sneaker boutique in the environment of, just your general sporting goods stores. Because I was always very involved with the whole conceptualization, design of the stores, and to actually see them come to life, it was always felt really great. I've always liked creating and building something new, so that's why we work with brands to do our own collaboration models.
Our first collaboration was with New Balance. That was in 2008. That was the one that really opened doors for us. It was such an important landmark for us that last year, 2018, we did a 10-year anniversary version of that, and it did really well. It always feels good to see something which you create come to life. That's been really rewarding, and I think since that first one, we've come to close to 30 collaborations with almost all of the major brands, whether it's Adidas, Vans, Puma, Reebok, New Balance, which is to me an achievement because you kind of have to push above your weight to get all these projects on. There's lots of big global players that have come into the local market.
Whether it's Limited Edition or my family business,
We thrive on competition.
To me, still is online is the biggest threat to our retail business, but hey, it's a super big opportunity to grow our business too.
With some of the other places, it's a bit more mainstream, where we are a bit more specialty.
No disrespect, it's great that Singapore has these stores now because it just improves people's choices. Along the way, we've kind of become very niche also. Right? We have stores that cater to that top tier product. We have stores that cater to basketball, to skate, to a bit more fashion side with our Marina Bay Sands store with the designer collaborations. We still have a very strong place in this whole environment. Our main thing right now is for the retail stores really become a destination space, improve our customer experiences as they get into the store, and just making sure retail still stays relevant, because I still think it still has its place. Of course, online is going to play a key part, and even more so going forward. It's one of those things right now, you got to give people convenience. We're going to revamp our website, something which we're going to really focus much more on. We've been that homegrown Singapore store for really long. We've built enough goodwill, enough of brand recognition, especially around the region. So I think the next step is actually moving out of Singapore. If you asked me this a few years ago, I would probably think, no, I'm so busy here, but I think it's something which we have to do. I think we have to build our name beyond our shores.